You feel it. Even before you see any concrete proof, before you find a suspicious text or notice a different perfume, your gut already knows. There's a shift in the atmospheric pressure of the relationship. It's as if, suddenly, you have become invisible in your own home, or worse, as if you've become an annoyance just for breathing the same air as him. You try to talk, and you hit a wall. You try to be affectionate, and you are met with coldness. And the question that pounds in your head, keeping you up at 3 a.m, is there someone else? Am I going crazy? I am here to tell you, you are not crazy. Your body is registering micro-expressions and patterns of behavior that your conscious mind, addicted to the hope that he will return to who he once was, tries to ignore. A narcissist does not end relationships like healthy, mature adults. He doesn't sit down, talk, explain that his feelings have changed, and leave honorably. No. A narcissist operates like a parasite that needs a host. He never lets go of one branch before he has the next one firmly secured in his hands. This means that there must necessarily be an overlap phase. A phase where you are still there, but the position is already being filled by someone else. In this script, we are going to dissect the 5 definitive psychological and behavioral signs that the narcissist has already begun the process of replacing you. We won't talk about the obvious. We will talk about the cruel subtleties he uses to make you doubt your own sanity, while he sets the stage for the new supply. My name is Lauren Mitchell. My purpose with this channel is to show you that the problem was never you, and more importantly, that you are not alone. If you still carry doubts, guilt, or confusion about what you experienced, look no further. My ebook is the only guide that profoundly and completely reassuringly gathers everything no one has ever explained to you about narcissistic abuse. It will give you the clarity you have waited years for. Access my ebook and learn about the benefits of channel membership through the link in the description of this video. Sign number 1. The innocent triangulation and the insertion of new characters. The first sign happens right under your nose, and it's designed to make you look like the crazy jealous one if you dare to question it. The narcissist begins to introduce a new character into the day-to-day narrative. At first, it's subtle. He mentions a new female coworker who is very competent, or an old friend who reappeared on social media and is going through a tough time. Pay very close attention here. The narcissist rarely hides the new source of supply completely. Part of his thrill, part of the sadism of the narcissistic personality structure, comes from rubbing the new victim in the old one's face, without the old one realizing the seriousness of the situation. He does this for 2 main reasons. First, it's what we call triangulation. By mentioning another woman, he gauges your reaction. If you show jealousy, you are giving him negative supply. He feels powerful, desired, the prize that 2 women, even if the other one doesn't know it yet, are competing for. Second, he is normalizing her presence. He will say this person's name so often in such a casual way that when you suspect something more serious, he will say, "Her? Mariana? But I always talk about her. You know, we're just friends. You're seeing things that aren't there." He uses the partial truth to cover up the total lie. You will notice Hitazaru starts making subtle comparisons. Maybe he says, "Mariana at work has an incredible sense of humor. She doesn't take everything so seriously like you." Or, "It's so easy to talk to her." This is not an innocent comment. This is conditioning. He is training you to feel inferior, and at the same time, validating to himself that the new source is better, easier, and less problematic. What he doesn't tell you is that the new source is easy, because she doesn't know his abuse. She is easy because she is in the idealization phase, the same phase you were in once. He is, effectively, doing a soft launch of the replacement. He is testing the waters. If he comes home talking excitedly about something this person said, and minutes later treats you with indifference, the red flag is not just lit, it is blinking frantically. He is draining the vital energy of the novelty with her, and bringing the leftovers, the emotional pulp, to you. Sign number 2, the withdrawal of emotional investment, the look of boredom. This is perhaps the most painful sign, but also the most biologically revealing about the narcissist's nature. The narcissist needs constant fuel, narcissistic supply. This fuel is your emotional reaction, whether it's your adoration, your love, or your anger, your tears, your desperation. Once he has secured a new source of primary supply, someone who looks at him as if he were a god, someone who believes all his masks. He stops needing to extract that fuel from you with such intensity. The result? A chilling apathy. Suddenly, the things he used to do to provoke you no longer happen as often. He stops fighting. He stops trying to argue. He stops love-bombing you to win you back after a mistake. He simply stops. You look at him and see a dead fish. Stare. A glazed, bored look that passes through you, not to you. It's as if you have become part of the furniture. If you cry, he doesn't get angry or console you. He just sighs, rolls his eyes, and leaves the room, or continues looking at his phone as if nothing is happening. Why does this happen? Because his battery is being charged elsewhere. He doesn't have the emotional energy to spend on maintaining the fantasy with you, because he is investing all his energy in building the fantasy with the new person. You feel like you have become a burden. He starts demonstrating a sudden autonomy. Before, he needed you for everything, to validate his outfit, to listen to his work stories, to inflate his ego. Now he comes home, barely speaks, handles his own things, and isolates himself. Many victims confuse this with a rough patch or stress at work, but the crucial difference is the lack of connection. In a rough patch, a normal partner might pull away, but they come back. When the narcissist is replacing you, he pulls away, and you feel like the bridge has been blown up. He is not just distant, he is absent even when he is physically present. This indifference is proof that the attachment transfer has already occurred. In his mind, the relationship with you is already over. He just hasn't told you yet because he needs to resolve the logistics of the switch, or because it is still convenient to have you taking care of the house, the bills, or his public image while he enjoys himself behind the scenes. Sign number 3, the manufacturing of conflicts and the rewriting of history. For the narcissist, guilt is a hot potato he will never hold. If he is cheating, lying, and planning to abandon you, he needs, psychologically, to justify this to himself in a way that allows him to remain the good guy or the victim of the story. He cannot admit, I am leaving you because I am an emotional predator seeking fresh meat. So, what does he do? He starts rewriting the history of the relationship in real time and manufacturing conflicts to legitimize his exit. You will notice that he begins to have disproportionate reactions to minuscule things. You forgot to buy the bread? This turns into a 2-hour argument about how you are irresponsible, don't care about him, and how the relationship is unsustainable. The goal of these manufactured fights is not to solve a problem. The goal is to create a pretext. He needs a reason to leave the house irritated on a Friday night and go meet the other person. He needs a reason to go without talking to you all weekend. And above all, he needs to convince himself that you are impossible to live with. He starts saying phrases like, "We were never happy anyway. I always felt alone in this relationship. You never understood me." This is what we call historical revisionism. He takes years of dedication, love, and partnership that you offered and throws them in the trash, painting everything with the color of bitterness. To the new victim, he is selling the story of the suffering man, trapped in a loveless marriage with a crazy or cold woman. To make that story true in his head, he needs to turn you into that villain now. This tactic is devastating because it makes you question reality. You think, "But last week we were laughing at dinner. What do you mean we were never happy?" This dissonance is intentional. He wants you to feel so unstable, so guilty, and so confused that when the final discard happens, you think it was your fault. He is training you to accept the end as a relief, or as a consequence of your supposed mistakes. Sign number 4, paranoid projection. This is the most classic sign in psychology, projection. The narcissist, knowing exactly what he is doing behind your back, the deleted texts, the secret meetings, the emotional duplicity, begins to be consumed by paranoia that you are doing the same thing. Remember, the narcissist believes everyone thinks and acts like him. If he is cheating and manipulating, he assumes that the world is a place where everyone cheats and manipulates. Suddenly he starts interrogating you. Where were you? Who is this guy? Who liked your photo? Why did it take you so long to answer? You're too dressed up just to go to the grocery store. These accusations come out of nowhere and are made with an aggressiveness that leaves you stunned. You find yourself in the absurd position of having to prove your innocence when he is the one committing the crime. This tactic serves 2 diabolical purposes. First, it is a preemptive defense. By accusing you, he puts you on the defensive. You become so busy explaining yourself, showing your phone, trying to prove your love and loyalty, that you stop paying attention to his behavior. It's a smokescreen. While you are defending your character, you are not investigating his. Second, it gives him a justification for the discard. If he can distort reality enough to believe, or pretend to believe, that you are unfaithful or disloyal, he can exit the relationship posing as the betrayed victim. He can tell the new supply, "I had to leave. She wasn't trustworthy." If the narcissist, who was always indifferent or secure, suddenly turns into a possessive and paranoid jealous person for no apparent reason, know this: he is projecting his own shadow onto you. He is seeing his own betraying face in the mirror of the relationship and shouting that the image is yours. Sign number 5. Technological change and phantom hours. The last sign is the most practical and tangible, where his digital life closes up like a bank vault. The narcissist, when cultivating a new supply, lives a double life. And this double life needs to be managed logistically. You will notice a drastic change in digital habits. The phone, which used to be tossed on the couch, is now an extension of his body. He takes the device into the shower, to the trash, to get water in the kitchen. If the phone is on the table, the screen is always facing down. Notifications disappear. He turns off message previews. If you get close while he is typing, he quickly locks the screen or changes apps with an abrupt movement. And if you ask, he attacks. What's with the obsession with watching me? Don't you respect my privacy? The word privacy becomes the adulterer's favorite shield. In addition to technology, phantom hours emerge. Work meetings that go late and were not part of the routine. Sudden business trips. Trips to the gym that last 3 hours. Happy hours with friends you've never heard of or that he never attended before. When you ask for details about these events, the answers are vague or overly detailed. A well-elaborated lie often has unnecessary details to sound true. But the main indicator here is not just the lie, it is the unavailability. During these periods, he vanishes. The phone loses signal, the battery dies, he doesn't respond. When he reappears, he comes with a ready excuse and a latent aggression should you dare to question him. He is creating a new routine where you don't fit. He is living moments, creating memories, and establishing intimacy with someone else. And the time he spends there is stolen from the life he built with you. These holes in the schedule are the black holes where your relationship is being swallowed. Reading these signs can feel like a punch to the gut. The nausea you feel now is not just fear, it is reality, aligning with your intuition. The loose puzzle pieces, the cold stare, the changed password, the mention of that friend, the meaningless fights, now form a clear picture. And I know your first reaction may be desperation, the urge to fight harder, to be perfect, to try to win him back, to prove you are better than the other woman. Do not do this. Understand what is happening here. You are not losing a prize. You are seeing the true face of a disorder. The fact that he is replacing you says nothing about your worth, your beauty, or your capacity to love. It says everything about the infinite emptiness that exists inside him, an emptiness he tries to fill with people, as if they were disposable objects. He is not moving on to something better. He is simply restarting the cycle. The new person, the one he is idealizing now, will soon be exactly where you are today, confused, devalued, and being replaced. Clarity is your superpower now. If you have identified these signs, you have the advantage. You can stop trying to fix what he broke on purpose. You can stop providing the emotional supply he still tries to extract through fights and blame. Don't wait for him to discard you. Start your emotional detachment now. Plan your exit, protect your mind, and above all, stop looking at him searching for the person you loved. That person never existed. It was just a mirror reflecting the love you gave. Now that the mirror is broken, don't try to glue the shards back together. You will only cut yourself. You deserve to be the only option, not a temporary alternative while he looks for something new. If this video has shed light on the darkness you were living in, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to leave your story, your vent, or even a topic suggestion. For the next video in the comments below, access the link in the description to find out about my ebook and the benefits of being a member of this channel. Click the suggested video on the screen to continue with me, and remember, you are light. Never forget to shine.